Hey guys, what's going on? Okay, another Reaper of Souls video here for you guys. And basically in this video what I'm going to do is kind of break down my build, tell you a little bit about the philosophy behind it, and show you what I use for T6. Now, I did this in a previous video, but the quality was so horrible I don't think anyone would have watched any more than 5 seconds of it. So, yeah, we'll start off with the gear. Now, guys, this isn't like a set in stone type of a build. You know, my builds change from time to time. Actually, probably once a week I switch stuff out. So actually today I just switched the gloves out. I'm starting to use Tasker and Theo again. I was using Mage Fist for a few days to try that out. So this is what we got. So for weapon we use the Star Metal Cookery. Now this weapon is highly recommended, guys, and for the simple fact, you know, the unique stat that's on there. The reduce the cooldown of Fetish Army and Big Bad Voodoo by 1 second each time your fetishes deal damage. So that's huge, guys. Like I've seen, you know, go into a big mob and just spam your rain of toads. It's like boom, you got 15 fetishes right off the top, and they just hit, and your cooldown for Big Bad Voodoo and your Tiki Tortures less than 5 seconds. It just refreshes almost instantly. Another good weapon though to use is the Rhino Flare with the Adling Toads. I was using that before too. That's a really excellent weapon to use. I found the Star Metal when I was 360 Paragon level, so I'm just kind of, you know, I've been waiting for that item, so I'm just getting everything I can out of it. I really do enjoy it. I do think it's better than the Rhino Flare. Again, that's just a personal preference. I see a lot of people using the Rhino Flare even though they have the Star Metal. So again, I might switch it out again in the future. I'm always changing builds. As you can see, I got a socket in there, and got the crit hit damage. It's also got the 33 built in there as well, out of a possible 31 to 35, so it's kind of a mid-range one. The intelligence is a little low. I'd like to see that in the 700s. So yeah, not too bad. I got the canes set here. Well, 2 of the 3-piece set anyway. You see, I don't use a Ring of Royal Grandeur, so I don't get that 3rd bonus, but I don't really care about that anyway. The reason why I wanted to opt for this set is the attack speed of 8%. Big important aspect of a veterinarian build is the attack speed. You want your fetishes hitting as fast as possible, because the faster they're hitting, the more DPS, right? And I actually confirmed that by switching out my Tasker and Theo for the Mage Fist that had a 20% fire increase, and the Tasker and Theo were just killing them. So attack speed is very important, guys. So you're going to want to try and get those 2 canes for that 8% attack speed. Now the weapon. A lot of people use the Eucapian Serpent. I use the Thing of the Deep, and the reason why I use the Thing of the Deep is for the pickup radius. So your health globes. If you're in a situation where you're going to die, and you know, you could pop your Spirit Walk and then just walk into a little circle like this, and chances are you'll pick up all the health globes that are around you, and it really comes in handy. Now, another thing too is that the Eucapian Serpent also redirects up to 30% damage to your dog, so you know, that's 30% damage reduction right off the top. If you match that with, let's say, a String of Ears. I'm not using String of Ears, but if you use a String of Ears and a Eucapian Serpent and a Unity, let's say, combo with your follower, you're talking like 50, 80, 100% damage reduction. So that is a big thing, and I do plan on trying that, guys. I accidentally savage my Serpent, and I need to find another one. So yeah, that's why I use Thing of the Deep. I like the pickup radius, and I actually got lucky with the 10% crit hit chance on there as well. So it's a nice little mojo to have. SOJ, guys, for the 20% fire skill. That stacks well with my dog, my Tiki Tortures, and my Wrathful Protector. I also got 41% crit hit damage on there as well, and increased the damage by 28% to elites, 462 intelligence. I got a vanilla witching hour there. I actually found 2 witching hours that were level 70, and they were just crap. They were nowhere near what this one is, so I just stayed with this one. Another good belt you could use would be the Harrington Waistguard. That gives you increased damage every time you pick up a chest, or if you hit a body or something that's on the ground. I like the witching hour though, again, for the attack speed, which is very important for the veterinarian build. I call it a veterinarian build, pet doctor. Tall Man's Finger. Very lucky on this one, guys. It rolled with perfect 50% crit hit damage. I didn't have to do anything with that except for put the crit increase by 6%. I was gonna go with attack speed, but I figured a little bit of crit hit chance is not gonna hurt either, because I got pretty good attack speed right now, which I'll show you in a minute. and I got my intelligence on there and my damage. Tasker and Theo guys with perfect crit hit chance and attack speed of 5%. I'd like to roll that for at least 45% crit hit damage rather than the 10% crit hit chance, but it's so costly to reroll right now. I'm just kind of leaving it alone. I got the 3-piece Ogwilds here because I don't have the Ring of Royal Grandeur, so I have to wear all 3. And guys, it's pretty obvious why someone would wear the Ogwild set. The 2-piece gives you reduced damage from melee and range by 7%, and the full piece reduces your damage from elites by 15% while increasing your damage to elites by 15%. So that's fantastic, guys. I would recommend that build to almost anyone, and that's using Witch Doctor. Ouroboros, guys, again, rolled pretty lucky, 20% fire damage. Perfect, can't get any better than that. And then I have the 83% crit hit damage and the 9.5 crit chance with 662 intelligence. 100% pet Mascajarum. It's very hard to find pets deal 100%. Usually you get the ones that are in the 80s or the 90s. Very rare to find a perfect one. I got perfect crit on there as well, but the stats are low. Yeah, I would like to see them over 700. They're both very low. But again, guys, I got the 100% pet damage there, so not bad at all. Now, guys, for the details here, my attacks per second is 1.85. Now that's good. That's what you need. You need at least 1.80. You know, have your fetishes out there hitting as fast as possible. They're just gonna get more DPS, right? Crit hit chance is 51. My crit hit damage is 473. It's a little bit low, 473 crit hit damage. But again, I'm kind of swapping out for the attack speed, right? So that's that. I'm going to switch to Paragon here. Now, you're only going to want enough movement speed to get your max movement speed. So look at your gear, do the math, and get your 25%, put the rest in intelligence. Your offense, you're going to want to max out your attack speed. Like I said, that's most important. And I'm 1 off of maxing my critical hit damage here, and then obviously you'll fill up your crit hit chance. Cooldown reduction really doesn't matter with a Witch Doctor, guys, especially with this build. I shouldn't say with a Witch Doctor, but with this build, I just don't use very much mana. Over here, defense. We don't really need resist all. We're an intelligence class, so intelligence is going to give you a resist. So what you're going to focus on is your armor, and then after that, you're going to focus on your life. And then after that, if you want to start focusing on life regen or resist all, it's totally up to you. I think I'm going to go with life regen because I want to try to find other ways to get my survivability up, and I think that will be pretty good. Utility, guys, area damage. I don't think a lot of people know what area damage means. I'll tell you what it means. So we're going to go to details here, okay? Now my area damage is sitting at 50% right now. It used to be a little bit more than that because I was wearing the Mage Fist. But 50%, so if you read this, it says all attacks have a 20% chance to also deal 50% of the damage to enemies within 10 yards. So enemies within 10 yards, if you look at your character, if I make this little circle around the character, that's 10 yards, okay? It's a pretty big area. So 50% damage to those enemies within 10 yards. So let's say if my Wrathful Protector crits for 250 million, I'm just throwing a number out. If he's critting for 250 million, there's a 20% chance that he will deal half of that 250, so 125 million, to all the enemies within 10 yards. Guys, that's a massive boost, okay? That's a big DPS boost, and it really works well. I sometimes see my dog or my gargantuan just hitting one guy, and then all the monsters around him just dying as well. So it really comes in handy. So that's why I say that the area damage always works so well. And then again, the guy's life on hit. Like I said, I'm trying to find alternate ways for my survivability to be a little better, because my gear, as you can see here, I only got 2 topazes, and I'm even considering on taking those topazes out. I will lose toughness, but if I put the amethysts in there, I will gain the life and I'll gain toughness back, lose a little bit of damage as well, because I notice I'm dying at certain parts that I shouldn't be dying on in T6 difficulty. So guys, that's that. My skills, Plague of Toads, Rain of Toads. Guys, that's strictly for spam and fetishes. I don't do any DPS with that. I mean, I'm strictly fire and it's a poison skill, right? So that's what I'm using that for. Burning Dogs, again, guys, we're set up for fire. I think I'm 60% fire right now. I think, yeah, 60% fire damage increase. It was 80 with the Mage Fist, but again, it could not compare with the 44% attack speed with Tasker and Theo. So the Burning Dogs, Tiki Tortures, again, guys, a fire skill, and this one works really well, really well. They do a lot of DPS. Wrathful Protector again for the same reason, fire. Okay, and this guy one-shot elites in T6, guys. I shit you not. He's really really good. Slam Dance to get that extra 20%, 30% damage and 20% attack speed and movement speed. It works really really well. And since we're using a star metal, that thing just refreshes in no time at all, along with the Fetish Army. Spirit Walk Jaunt, survivability, guys. I would recommend this with the Graven Justice. Graven Justice is going to give you 1 second off of your cooldown for every enemy that dies within 20 yards. So like I said, if you got a big mob and you're spamming your Tiki Tortures with your Big Bad Voodoo, that the enemies just die almost instantaneous. So your Spirit Walk is almost refreshing as fast as your Fetish Army and your Big Bad Voodoo. So that means you can stay in the Spirit Realm for most of the time and avoid that damage. So that's a necessary skill, guys. That's absolutely critical to this build. I wouldn't opt it out. Now the passive's Midnight Feast there. You can have one additional zombie dog summoned at one time. The damage of your zombie dogs in Gargantuan is increased by 50%. Big damage boost. But what they don't say is that if you have a Tall Man's Finger, obviously you don't get an additional zombie dog because you just have the one, but that zombie dog will hit for even more. So it makes them more powerful. So that's another critical skill. Graven Justice, what I just explained. Pierce the Veil, guys, we don't use mana. So we just pretty much get a 20% damage boost right off the top. And then Fetish Sycophants, guys. Every time you hit a monster, you have a 10% chance at getting a Fetish to fight for you for 60 seconds. So guys, we'll test it out. We'll go do Gom. Just to show you. Where are we here? Such a fun build too. The Star Metal makes it so much easier and so much funner. As you can see there, guys, it's a 2-minute cooldown for the Fetish Army, and it's already refreshed. Okay, so that was like 6 seconds. And I'm lagging again. I think it might be the servers tonight, guys. I think the Blizzard might be having a little trouble. I never get lag like this.
Brutes to shreds.
As you can see, guys, these fetishes are just ripping these monsters a new asshole. It's just so powerful, so powerful. Wow, great build. Oh, completed a bounty. Bit of XP there. Went the wrong way here. Now, that's one thing you want to be kind of cautious about, guys, is having your Fetish Army cooldown still open and not having any monsters around. You could leave yourself open for some damage there and possibly dying. You want to make sure that your Fetish Army is available at any given time. If you see 2 monsters, don't spam your Fetish Army. Oh, here we go. Check this out.
Needs more time.
Treasure Goblins. And we got a 2-handed sword there, legendary. And no vault. Urgh. I think that's over 100 Treasure Goblins that I've spawned so far. I've never gotten it yet. So it's definitely a lot tougher than it was in the PTR. And as you can see, my my Fetish Army just finished, and this didn't cool down in time. So that, again, you want to be careful. But hopefully you have enough Fetish Sycophants to compensate. That always helps too. And these reflect damage always get me. So hard to deal with. And you can tell it's hard for the fetishes to deal with as well. They're done. Okay. fire chains, another really hard hitting monster affix. Holy crap. Now, I don't have as many fetishes spawned as I would hoped, because we're going to be doing the GOM test. Okay, well guys, I guess we'll do it anyway, just to show you. I know with the full 15 fetishes here, I usually drop them in about 5 to 6 seconds. But it'll probably take a little longer now that I don't have all those fetishes in.
Not ready yet.
But as you can see, guys, they are not messing around. I don't think it was much more than 5 seconds though, even without the
That is impossible.
fetishes spawn.
I need to go back.
Not bad at all, guys. Like I said, it's a very viable build. If you don't have a SMK star metal, go for the Rhino Flare. This is the Rhino Flare. Plaga Toads now seek out enemies and it can explode twice. Use that with Addling Toads, and you're gonna have a fantastic build too. I wouldn't recommend Tiki Tortures or the Wrathful Protector with that. It's just not very viable, I find, with the Star Metal, and you can have these things spammed. You can go towards a fire build, but yeah, guys, that's it. That's my build. It works well for me. You know, let me know what you guys are using. Like I said, I'm open to different ideas and different suggestions, and I always love to try new things. So if you guys have any builds that's working for you, that's getting you high up in these leaderboards, let me know, guys. My next video gonna be level 28, create a Rift Keystone, guys. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So until then, we'll see you in the next movie.